Hi.
Hi, Mrs. Morrow. How are you?
Just fine.
Good.
Would you mind sitting down?
Great, thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to come in today.
Well, I really appreciate the chance to talk to you about this.
This is a really interesting position. It's evolving.
Yes.
And so I really am interested to hear how your experience is going to play into this.
I have been thinking a lot about that because I come with a unique set of circumstances, being 20 years in the corporate world, some time as a CEO in the nonprofit world, and now going back to school. And it is interesting to me to now start looking at different opportunities, really how important the mind, the health, the happiness of employees is to the prosperity of a company.
How do you quantify that from a budget perspective, from a return on investment?
I think if a company, especially is struggling, that it would be quantifiable in their sales rates,
Okay.
or in their employee satisfaction, or in their
Okay.
employee ratings of how they're performing.
Okay.
Because I think that, for example, with this class, I was having a hard time with one of the assignments. And I got into my head a little bit and realized that I was frustrated with the timeline that the professor had set forth. Read this and then do this assignment with not much time to go. And I realized that it was my frustration about the timeline that was really creating more issues than the timeline itself. Okay. So if you have somebody who can help you see that, I think it will change productivity tremendously for companies.
Can you explain the Thrive methodology a little bit?
Sure. Thrive methodology is something that is used nationally by several different youth organizations. Campfire specifically uses it nationally, and it's basically a 4-stage process. Okay. It is about sparks, which is what I see as the happiness factor. Okay. If you take a kid and you do something that they enjoy, they are happier about it. It raises their energy, it raises their enthusiasm, and they're more willing to do the work if they're happy about something. And then the second step is we call it GPS, goal setting. So we teach them to set goals, we teach them to have a plan, and then my favorite is that you have a strategic, that you're going to have to shift gears. Just an expectation that you're going to have to change things. You do a reflection piece so that they understand how far they've come, because so many times they don't see the incremental increase that they've had. And then there are 4, and I'm starting to escape me on the 4th one, but it will come to me. Sorry.
I understand. Now, working with youth is one thing, because we're the adults and they expect coaching from us. Are adults as open and as willing to be coached into happiness about their job? I just come here to get my paycheck. Right. Just let me do my job. How do you overcome that barrier of prejudice towards this?
I think it's a culture thing.
It is.
I think it starts at the top. If you have a board, it has to start with the board. If you have a CEO and a president, then it has to start, whoever that top line is, it has to start with their buy-in. They have to see it benefiting them before then sending it on down the line to the employees. Okay. And because happiness is something that is unique to everybody. And not always the same for any given person. And it's also a willing thing. So I don't think you can force something like this on employees. It's going to have to be, maybe start with a group of volunteers who say, yes, I want to try this and see how this works. Okay. Instead of making it everybody has to do it this way.
I appreciate your comment that people are different. Can you give me an example of how you might work with very diverse cultures? You know, our work line right now is a lot of overseas. We have a lot of remote workers. How do you envision making that work in our environment? In your environment.
I did not realize that you had some overseas, so I would have done more research on that. But even in that case, I think it's one of the things I like about this position is that it's kind of like the weather. You kind of just have to go with the flow.
Okay.
And I really think that that's how you would handle that, is you would talk to the remote people. You would, learn, educate, educate myself about the communities in which the overseas people are in. So a lot of it is learning, but a lot of it is also allowing them to be able to communicate to me. It's relationship building, which is what, really it's about, is relationship building.
And it looks like that's what your former positions have been really focused on. And I think we could perhaps leverage those skills. This is just sort of a prelim, because obviously you would not be reporting to me as the Director of Education.
Correct.
And so what I've been asked to do is just sort of some cursory. And so what I'd like to do now is introduce you to the CEO that you would be reporting to.
Okay, great.
And allow him to take the interview from here.
Okay, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And you're out.